the needs assessment, as you can imagine right now, they're just focusing on the rescue operation. And the disaster management center has done some work in prioritizing what our needs are at the moment based on their own expertise and experience. And this we will share with you.
Present with the conditions. And there are few buses which is blocked in the Nugegodarally camp.
The dedicated number specifically at the moment it is being coordinated by the Ministry of Defence and the President is
for Mark Andre, who is the UN Resident Coordinator, so I'm currently the AI for UNRC. So for the UN side, we express our sincere condolences for the heavy toll of lives and livelihood that has been inflicted by Cyclone Dikwa. Our thoughts and prayers for the affected population. So for the United Nations, we are standing ready in solidarity to Sri Lanka to support and respond to the current situation. We are also coordinating with OCHA, who is the Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs that is based in Bangkok. And what we would like to ask as well is to facilitate the coordination. And what we are requesting is what is the needs of the affected population, specifically for women, the children, and the marginalized group. My question as well is one, who will be in charge in terms of the coordination on this response? It will be due to have a clarification to whom we can coordinate the response. And then second is, as echoing with the U.S. Ambassador, are you seeking for international assistance? Because this is also very important for us to be able to amplify our efforts and response. Thank you.
Additional ask from the government to trigger then some of us went back to our capitals to get the assistance and the budgets and the resources identified. And the second is now that we just received from the DMC a list of very specific things that are a requirement, and as you say, a lot of search and rescue equipment is what's most needed. The United States has provided generators and tarps and sandbags in the past few months, which we understand is being used. And we saw that the helicopters have been used to rescue people off rooftops. We do have 10 helicopters that we have granted to Sri Lanka. Unfortunately, they will not be here in a few days. It'll take a few months for them to travel across and get the certification. But for future crises as well, we believe these 10 helicopters that are coming early next year will help in the assistance. My question to you is regarding, you said there was a separate bank account that's being set up to raise funds. Is that in lieu of the Sri Lankan Red Cross? And who is going to be coordinating this? Because as many of our embassies start to come back with maybe some assistance, I think having one point of contact in the government would be useful, including information on that bank account. Thank you.
Arrived recently, but they also cannot fly. I'm not quite sure what, but some assistance with regard to the unit that we have set up to coordinate.
In terms of searching operations.
Just before we close, could you share the contact details of the emergency unit, or will you circulate that at a later stage? That's very important for us because we are finding difficulties in getting in touch with local authorities.
We have someone now from Athens that we're ready immediately to support with. But I think the critical thing will be, of course, to work together on the needs assessments so that we can coordinate those and do them together with government and bring in experts to go out and look at where the needs are as quickly as possible. And then, based on those needs assessments, develop proper responses that really meet the needs of those communities. So again, looking forward very much to working within the coordination structures that you just outlined to make sure that we're able to do all of that and support to our community.
You just made about that ongoing coordination. I'm sure there will be countries, including Australia, that will be looking at the mechanisms that we have available, certainly on an ongoing basis about what is needed, because I'm sure that what's needed today and tomorrow will probably look very different to what's needed in 3 days, 4 days' time. We just want to make sure that the assistance that we're able to mobilise is going to be best targeted at what you need at the time. So is that something you're able to do in addition to giving us
have access on the ground. Anyway, they reach to any location. Up to now, they have rescued about 590 persons up to now from the disasters. What we need, the main problem is we do not have the communication with the research and rescue teams. Once they reach to get the further assistance, we don't have communication because we completely rely on the mobile communication. The mobile communication is very much down there. So we have to have some mobile communication and their sets so that we can give it to search and teams. And as the name says, night vision teams and the searchlight, off-road searchlights and other search and rescue.
Of emergency assistance for displaced persons. And actually defined this everything last year. Around the same time, there was heavy rain and landslide. Japan provided through JICA emergency assistance goods, like sleeping pads, plastic sheets, and tents, and so on. Yes, this time is, in my experience last time, when the emergency relief goods arrived in BIA, we took PMC, but we haven't been successful yet because we need to discuss all these things in detail. Not only being provided the list, but we like to discuss how much, in which area do you need, what product, what.
If you need that, you can write down my phone number.
And we have requested all of these institutions to keep the students because traveling is the risk right now.
Assessment. So from our side, we're internally coordinating with our regional office and headquarters when it comes to the provision of services and items that's ready, not just on non-food items, but also on human resource when it comes to the deployment if the needs assessment is available.
Rescue equipment. Is the country ready for also to receive rescue teams as well? And for the humanitarian aid also as a second question, is there my good ambassador to have streamlined clearances?
Of course. Yes. Yes, ma'am.
To have and we will continue to support. Thank you.
Rescue operational efforts.
So they are very bad keeping as well as certain places of safe staging
All over the country, everywhere.
Yeah.
Many.
That is where we are at the moment. The bad weather.
So that we know speaking.
Is that dedicated hotline?
Many requests are coming, but we cannot handle that much.
We need more helicopters also, because in the days to come also we will experience the bad weather and sometimes in certain areas the water level will go up as well.
And we need the contact information from the special unit of the Foreign Ministry. Yes, ma'am. Is, in my experience last time, when
all sites since it's been closed vis-a-vis goes to monitor.
That we will share the contact points.
We will be monitoring it and also reporting to the parties as well as the
We checked with all the sites where tourists are in right now, except few sites in Nugegodarally.
I think you already know the situation, but if I could just brief you, as you know, this particular cyclone, we've been feeling the effects since yesterday. According to the reports we are getting, it's still moving across the island northwards towards India, but there is still a significant portion that's affecting us and will continue to do so for over the next 48 hours. So although we think that the rainfall might reduce, it's still raining, and it's raining heavily. I mean, in certain places last night, the rain went up to about 450 millimeters in places like Matale and Badulla and Kandy. A reduction is actually coming down to something like 200 millimeters, 150 millimeters, which is still extremely high. So the threat of flooding is very real. There are certain districts, Kandy, Nugegodarally, Badulla, Matale, which have been very badly affected. The the north and the east, the flooding has started and it may increase. Also in places like Anuradhapura and Putlam. Even in the south and the western provinces, flooding is expected because of the rivers now going over capacity and the tanks also not being able to contain the water flow. Over the next 24 to 48 hours also, we are monitoring the situation closely. Even in the western province, the threat of flooding is imminent. So the situation is still quite serious. We have, at this point in time, our priority is rescue. This is what we are focusing on, saving people's lives, moving them to safe places, to secure places as much as possible. Of course, in some districts, there's some resistance because they are not feeling the floods yet. But what we are trying to do, particularly in the Colombo district, for instance, is because we are expecting the flooding to happen later this evening or tonight, to move people to secure areas prior to that, because our experiences in the other districts has been that once the flooding starts, accessing them is actually very, very difficult, and there are places where people are currently trapped and we are finding it very difficult to reach them. Also in the badly affected areas, the communication has also been disrupted. Mobile towers have been affected, power lines are down. So due to all of these reasons, also coordination and communication has become quite a challenge. So this is where we are appealing to you also for support. Firstly, with rescue equipment. I think this is where our top priority and most urgent need is to get people to safe places. So we need, if possible, support from helicopters that can reach people in inaccessible places, boats, inflatable boats, life-saving jackets, and other rescue tubes, rope, all of these sort of rescue equipment. We'll be very grateful if we can receive support in that, in regard to the rescue operation. There is also then, of course, assistance that is required for those who have been displaced, dry rations and water tanks and generators, water pumps to clear certain areas. So those we will be. The PM office is preparing a list of things.
You're watching the Life Traveler channel.